his ribcage. That was what I was about to do when the fiend stiffened. He sucked in a deep breath of air. Blood trickled from the sides of his mouth, and slowly the life went out of his eyes. The business end of a longsword stuck out of the fiend's chest. It was coated in blood that glistened against what little light there was. The sword pulled back. The fiend fell to his knees. I managed to work his fingers out of my hair just before he toppled to the floor, limp and dead. Behind him stood Draven, his sword at his side, his long coat flapping against the wind. I could feel his powerful aura now, his magic. It pulsed out of him like the heat from a sun, only it hadn't been there an instant ago. I frowned at him. "I had that under control, you know," I said. "Did you?" he asked, angling his head to the side and cocking an eyebrow. "Yes, I did. I also didn't want to kill him, just in case he knew something." Draven looked at the fiend, his black eyes narrowing. "I didn't think he'd die that quickly." I shook my head. "What are you doing here anyway? I thought you were out of town." "I was, but then Aaron told me about the tip-off. I came as fast as I could." "Why?" "Because you're not to engage Valoel on your own, under any circumstances. You've proven yourself to be formidable, but we don't know what kind of power he has." "By the way, Draven's there." Felisa's voice in my head was like having two brains, one lazier than the other. "Thanks," I said. "I hadn't noticed." "Felice?" Draven asked. "She says hi." "No, I don't." "Anyway, as you can see, I'm not on my own. Felice is nearby, providing recon. She's not very good at it, though." Hey, that fiend surprised us both. So did Draven, apparently. Draven sighed and ran his fingers through his hair. If I had to guess, he was probably tired of hearing me talk to myself. "Have you found anything?" he asked. I nodded at the dead fiend. "That guy," I said. Then I looked around. This place was a slum, a poor, forgotten neighborhood on the outskirts of New York City. Why Valoel would have been sighted here, I didn't know. I was starting to think this was all some kind of trap, like maybe the tip-off hadn't been accurate. I don't know what else I'm looking for. "Maybe you're not looking closely enough," Draven said, gesturing across my shoulder with a nod. "Movement, 6 o'clock, Felice said. I spun around on the spot. Someone had come running into view around a corner, only it wasn't a fiend. It was a kid. She couldn't have been more than a teenager. She had straight black hair, pale skin, and a dirty face. Her clothes, if you could call them clothes, also looked tattered and ratty. She wasn't wearing shoes. She had black sweatpants on, tied at the waist with an extension cord, and a black t-shirt ripped up in places. A set of manacles hung between her wrists. Was she someone's prisoner? She stared at me, wide-eyed and stunned. The girl had stopped next to an artificial creek, the gray water from a busted pipe flowing through cracks in the asphalt and concrete ground. A rat scurried about, searching for things to eat. I probably wouldn't have paid this girl too much attention, were it not for the fact that her magic aura slapped me across the face. I stepped away from her, instinct repelling me, and stretched my hand out. "Hey," I said. "What's your name?" The girl's eyes flitted from me to Draven, then back to me. A second later, she turned around and started running. "We've got a runner," Felice said. I broke into a sprint to chase the girl. I didn't know who she was, but she was brimming with magic. Someone with that kind of power shouldn't be left to roam around the streets of New York alone. There was no telling what they could do. Draven grabbed my shoulder as I started to move. "What are you doing?" "Going after her," I said. "Isn't that what you would have done back in the day?" "This feels like a trap, Celine," he said. "I won't allow us to fall into it." "And if it's not a trap, what if that girl needs our help?" "If she needed our help, she would have asked for it." "She's getting away," Felice said. "I'm going to try and stay with her." I clenched my jaw. "Did you sense her power?" I asked. "I did," he said. "Then prove to me one thing." "What's